Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to PSGL. We are here tonight for the Grand Prix of the United States around the Circuit of the Americas. Absolutely fascinating circuit based off many other F1 circuits such as Silverstone and Istanbul, Hockenheim, the lot. We are here tonight in Austin, Texas, and joined alongside me is Brendan. Brendan, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. We're coming towards the end of the season here and it's still fairly close.
Yeah, it is. It's 3 points separating the top two, Marcel and Stefano. But there is one key thing to note, and that is Stefano's not here.
A bit of a problem for him.
It is. Bjorn is 23 points behind Marcel, so we can still close it in. 3 races left. He's about to start a qualifying lap now, so we'll have a look on this while we are introducing you. He's on the soft compound tyres, a bit of a split here. Some guys looking at the mediums, which would make me think that it's a dry start to the Grand Prix, but of course we'll figure that out after. Bjorn through turn 1 now though, he's 23 points behind our championship leader. If you did not see the hectic record-breaking race in Singapore, Bjorn won it on track, but he was given a 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point for a pit entry penalty. I don't agree with the penalty myself, but it's not my decision. We're on board with Bjorn now. He's more motivated than ever to try close in this championship gap. He did gain a few points on Marcel. Of course, Bjorn missed 5 rounds, apologies, but DNF'd in a 6th. And that is why he's so far behind after a dominant opening start to the season. But he's here, and he's ready to go around the Circuit of the Americas. Coming down the back straight now. Heading down towards turn number 12. Heavy braking zone. Great overtaking opportunity in the Grand Prix.
Hello?
Yes, Brendan, I'm here. Hello. That was your cue.
Oh no, I didn't hear you. I had to take a moment there.
Fair enough. Bjorn entering the triple right-hander of 16, 17 and 18. Fastest lap goes to last week's winner, Sanchez. He ended up winning the Grand Prix of Singapore through the penalties for Bjorn and black box. So that was his first win of the season through the final corner, turn number 20. Lucky to not invalidate, it's second.
Bit behind Sanchez, aye.
It's P2 gone to third. K3 PA5 has gone up to fourth, but they are well off the mark there. Now Smith rounds the final corner, he goes third. Almost won in Hungary, of course. Hasn't won a race this season. He definitely loved to do it. Toxic Samazzo is on the mediums. Marcel also on the medium compounded tyres, our current championship leader. Let's see where he can put his Alfa Romeo. He's leading the championship by 3 points over Stefano, who was not here, so it's 20 points with Bjorn, and that is last of the timed runners, but he is on the mediums, and there goes Black Box. Almost won in Singapore, of course, was really fast there. He's gone to the top of the timing sheets with a 1:31.2. There it goes, Pro Gamer. It's a 6th for Aston Martin. We haven't seen him in a few weeks. Welcome back, Pro Gamer. He's back and ready to go. Pro Gamer in the Aston Martin, of course, had a great showing in... let me have a look here. Had a great showing in Saudi Arabia, I believe it was. But fortunately, did not score great points that day. It was just the pace that was good, not necessarily the results. Not many people heading into the final sector, so we'll keep a look on the drivers here. Baril, joining QRT now. He was I4 Baril for a while. Of course, won in Hungary. The Ferrari, currently 4th in the championship. He's 16 points behind Bjorn, though, which puts him 39 points off the championship lead. That is mathematically gone, unfortunately, for Baril. He won't be winning the title this season. Still could get a top 3 if everything plays. Actually, has a bit of a rear slide there, does the Ferrari man. Heading into the triple right. See what he can do.
Yeah, see what he can do.
Decent run through there. Heads into the final corner. Turn number 20 for Baril. Hello to Stefano watching in the chat, as Baril has gone to the top of the timing sheets, and he made a mistake on that lap as well, so that's a very nice lap indeed for QRT Baril.
I'd say, that last corner is a little blind, as you can see in that kind of this almost evening type weather where the sun's just coming down into the line of sight.
Oh, Hazara making a mistake there. Yeah, but I do agree, it's very difficult. Turn number 12 is the same Let's see what Zane can do. Crosses the line, goes third. Decent lap there for Zane. He was doing really well in Singapore, put on a set of the softs.
There's definitely time in that. It felt like there's in the penultimate corner that didn't take it as well. It probably would feel he could have. But obviously, 11 minutes, more than enough time to get another run in.
Yeah, of course Zane was running well in Singapore. Well, he stuck on a set of the softs when everyone else stuck on a set of the mediums. I don't think it was the result he wanted. He is currently 6th in the standings for Alfa Romeo. Of course, it was only 3 points last time out from, so he isn't challenging the top 5 just yet, but he is only 7 points off Barril. Barril, though, currently on provisional pole position. Is Azara gonna go for another run here? He is. He's backing up, getting ready to launch around the final corner and go for another run as the medium runner. And lap we've seen him make a big mistake through turn number 10, and is why that one is well off the pace. He can improve on that.
Let's see what he's on a lap.
Here he goes, down towards the S's, which are inspired off Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel in Silverstone, of course. A lot of the corners are inspired by different circuits. That's a purple sector 1, but I don't believe it in the slightest because, well, he's on the mediums. Unless he has a really good pace here. He's made another mistake through 10, but luckily it's not as bad, so he can keep going on this lap. Heads down towards 11 now. There's the Alpine.
Not quite taking the
12th in the standings.
Someone slow there at turn 1 then just before the last corner. I assume they're just
I believe that's Bjorn. He's backing off on a lap, so we'll go to him in a moment. But we'll stick with Hazara here as he heads down towards 12, trail braking. You want to make sure you don't lock up a tyre. It will smoke your tyres, and, well, you won't get the optimal run through the corner. Of course, no ABS allowed here in F5. It's a full no assists tier, no racing line, no anything. As Hazara enters in to the quick left-hander and to the triple right, inspired off Turkey's triple apex left-hander, turn number 8.
I think it's quadruple apex nearly.
Yeah, I think it is.
And it's a left-hander, I believe, in Turkey, so same principle, just reversed a bit.
Yeah, it is. As here comes Hazara. Oh, it's only 12th. That was disappointing in the end. We'll take a look at Bjorn. He's a 10th of a second up. He currently would go to second on the grid. Of course, Baril's lap is fairly ahead at the top of the timing sheet. We don't normally see that much of a gap, but it could have been a poor run for everyone else, sort of thing.
I mean, possibly. But then again, it's, you don't really know. See, some people, it takes a couple of laps for them to get into the rhythm, and for others, they can turn
hold on a second. There goes Sanchez. He's gone up to 3rd.
A small bit of improvement, but it's gone up the grid.
Here comes Bjorn. Rounding the penultimate corner into the final corner. He's really pushing this one. This is his second attempt of the day. Remember, we still do have Marcel to boost himself up. Here comes Bjorn. He's improved, but it's not jumped him up a spot there.
Yeah, I think that he was on 31.7.
Oh, there goes Peter.
Oh,
that's a fantastic lap.
Track evolution here.
That's put him 4/10 of a second clear. But Real's getting ready for a run. Black Box is also improving, as there is a slow Aston Martin in the middle sector. That's Lickle Blocks. He's on an outlap. He's just letting people through. That's good driver etiquette. As Black Box is approaching these few corners now, he's heading through turn number 13 now. In through 14. Double apex left of 15. Very tricky corner this. You could see someone send one up the inside. It'll lend me side by side round this one. Oh, there's a camera swap. Black Box is improving. On his time, it's marginal. And this qualifying looks a lot further stretched than it was, but that's invalid, and it's going to be a dive into the pits, as it looks like Baril's made a very similar mistake on his lap, just through a different corner. Dara Smith is improving on his lap as well for the Williams crew. We'll come back to that in a moment. K3 PA5 is up by 4/10 of a second. Oh, no, he's not, because he's in Sector 1, so that's just a telemetry glitch. We'll come back to him in a moment, but Pidu looking very, very
4/10 down instead.
Marcel is into the pit lane.
Always running low on fuel. It is the Red Bull. Don't think this is ever.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be an improvement there. Baril is not going to improve either. There's a lot of mistakes, which puts Pidu very far ahead of the rest of the field with a 30.7, the only man actually in the 30s. And he's ahead by almost 4/10 of a second here in qualifying. There is a fast Red Bull coming up behind Pidu. That's toxic to Matu, who has invalidated his lap time. Someone's jumped up the standing. It's Jerry Bussell on a set of the medium compound tyres. Jerry finished second last week in Singapore. It was only his second race in the tier, and he managed to get a podium. He currently has 20 points, so that's very good scoring in 2 races. Picked up 8 points in Mexico and picked up 12 in Singapore. He's currently 9th on a set of the medium compound tyres. Great effort there for Jerry Bussell. He's doing a good job. And the man asking for the tyres in the chat, it's qualifying. It's probably all on the softs.
Well, except for Jerry, to be fair.
Except for Jerry. Yeah, Jerry's on the mediums. But he's the only man in the top 10 on the mediums. As there is nobody currently on the Toronto Pro Gamers on a timed lap here.
No, then let's see how it is going then.
He's complete purple in the middle sector. I don't believe it in the slightest, but he is on a run here. He's up by almost 4/10 of a second. Would slot him just behind Darvis Smith, I think. But he could definitely improve in this final sector, so we'll see where he can go. Pro Gamer is a very steady driver in qualifying. The race has been his issue this season, but in qualifying he has looked very, very competent through the penultimate corner, and heading into the final corner now comes the 25 Aston Martin.
It's looking very
nice. Put him ahead of
Darvis
Smith. So that's a good last sector for Pro Game. Well done.
Yeah, not a bad position on the grid, and I believe he's the only man out on track. Well, besides
Darvis Smith's here,
Smith.
but he's on the outlap. He's right behind Pro Gamer, and in the standings and on the circuit. 4 minutes 15 to go in qualifying, so we will have to wait about a minute or so to see everybody else come out on track for their final runs of the day. See Darvis Smith out of the car fully out here. He's burning a bit of fuel, it looks like. As Pro Gamer just glides past. I think Pro Gamer let him through. He thought he was on a lap, but then obviously seeing the Williams running a lot slower than everybody else and just let him through. Pro Gamer is on an in lap, of course, just if you're wondering why we're not sticking with him. He just went 7th on his last attempt. Bjorn is out, and Axel has not set a lap time yet. Axel qualified 2nd on the grid in Singapore. Didn't have the race to match it, unfortunately. He picked up 4 points, which is decent considering the chaos we had in Singapore. If you don't know what happened, it was shambolic, but fantastic at the same time. It was Sanchez who took the win ahead of Jerry Bussell, and then Bjorn in 3rd. Bjorn did win it on track though, but got an after race penalty, which was unlucky for him. We're going to get some people starting lap times in a moment. It is going to be K3PA5, the first man to start a lap time, and here he goes. Brendan, do you want to talk us through this one?
Yep, so looking to improve from P9, so heading up towards the uphill turn 1. It's a unique corner, and probably one of the best corners for first laps, as we've seen many drivers being able to get the jump and make a move into turn 1 there. Now through the S's, very similar to the Wagons and Beckett's and Silverstone. They have their own unique challenge, with a bit more elevation change. Now, as you have went through sector 1, staying sector 2, looking not too bad here. And what is one of the left-hander we need to just basically drive over the apex. Now on to the back straight. Have the DRS. It is plain sailing here, and then somewhere where you can often get a send. You brake, doesn't hit the apex there, which is what you, in my opinion, you should do, but each is wrong. Let's see now, last sector. They're more technical than the others, and a bit more slower. But now into the triple apex right-hander, and where we've seen Red Bulls make moves, but get punished for them. And very nice run through there, managed the apex very well, probably a little, nearly too well. And just about keeping the ball in the last corner. Good improvement, but not enough for a position.
It's a decent improvement, but we get into the business end now because Baril has just invalidated his lap time. He is gotta get another attempt at that. Black Box has also invalidated Zane and Bjorn on a lap. Bjorn is down on his time though, so he may have to go again at the end of this. Here we go though, into the middle sector. We'll see what he can do here. True. The double apex, or the triple, or quadruple almost. Right-hander, was Brendan saying. It was a Red Bull. Invalidated. Bjorn's made a big mistake there. That's not what you want to do. He's going to have to go again on this one. Very unfortunate. Pidu is purple in Sector 1. He's up on his time for his third attempt here in qualifying. Down turn number 10, the McLaren man. Is looking good here. I don't think he's had a pole this season, but he's always been up there as TF1 Pidu. Bugatti is out of the session. That's his teammate. That's a crash in Sector 1. If we go on board with Jerry Bussell. Yeah, oh, that's a nasty one there for Bugatti. Here comes Pidu. He's up on his time. Everybody else really invalidated and had to go again. Pidu's nailing it first time. He's really up on his time. 0.2 of a second, he's almost up here as Pidu. The McLaren man is flying around the circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas, rounding the final few corners in Sector 3. This could be an absolutely fantastic pole time if he can nail this. It looks good. It is good. One corner to go for Pidu to possibly take what could be an absolutely mammoth task here in pole.
This is very good.
What a lap. A 30.5. Black Box is charging. Baril's down. Sanchez is up, but he's not up by enough. He might be Baril possibly here. Go up to the front row of the grid. Last week's winner in Singapore. Needs to nail the final corner. Get the throttle perfect. Here comes Sanchez. He's gone to second. That's a great lap. He's gone to second, but it's not as good as Pidu's was. Black Box is done for the day. Here comes Bjorn. He's done for the day too. Won't be improvement. The only man who could snatch this pole, realistically, is this man Baril, but he's not improving by enough unless he can find 0.7 of a second in this final sector. He won't be taking pole today. He'll probably just be aiming to get that second on the grid back. Start on the front row and chuck it up the inside into 1. Baril through turn number 19. Into turn number 20 goes the Ferrari man. Can he take pole position here in the Circuit of the Americas? It's going to have to be a lot to do it. He won't even take second. Pro Gamer crosses the line. He won't improve on his lap time. Marcel is down by 17 seconds, and the championship leader will start 13th on the grid, but P2 takes pole by almost 0.5 of a second. What a fantastic job in one of the closest tiers in qualifying. He has smashed everybody around the place.
It's all about doing a quali, but there's a race to be driven, and anything can happen in an F5, and it usually does. So,
but that's crazy, that pole lap. That is insane. A
50% done.
There is pole for the Argentine of TF1 Pidu with a 1:30.4. Only two men breaking into the 1:30s, and Pidu was in the low 1:30s. Sanchez takes second with a 30.9. Then it is QT Baril, who is charging for a top 5 in the championship. Can't mathematically win the championship itself, but he'll be trying to get up there. Darragh Smith in 4th, very underrated performance. He jumped up right at the end. Black Box in 5th, Zane in 6th, Bjorn 7th, Pro Gamer in 8th, K3PA5 in 9th, and Jerry Bussell rounded the top 10 in 10th. It's Hazara, Lickle Blocks, Marcel, Bugatti, Toxic Tomato, and Axel didn't get a lap in at the end. He'll start 16th.
Interesting how Jerry has decided not to go for a lap on softs. That could be that'll offer an interesting element to this race. A good start, and well, Jerry would be in a not bad position if, let's say, you get a late enough safety car.
It is a dry afternoon here in Cota, and Brendan, as I ask you almost every week, who's going to win this one?
Well, based on qualifying, it should be Pidu probably winning by, well, it could be 20 seconds or something.
Well, yeah, if he's 4 times quicker a lap, it will be a fairly decent job for Pidu if he can get this nailed down. But do you have any other predictions, or is it just going to be a Pidu win?
I would say if Jerry's able to, let's say, obviously, if he's able to keep somewhat with soft runners until the mediums start working, he could be a contender late in the race, but probably not for a win. It might be more if you're looking to secure P4 or 5. And maybe you might see a send in turn 1. But who knows?
Turn 1 can be either very beneficial or very dangerous. So we'll definitely have to wait and see how that one goes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas, the United States of America. The 5.514 kilometre circuit hosts Formula 1, NASCAR and MotoGP, and was formerly hosted, here's a bit of a list, Australian Supercars, IndyCars, American Rallycross, IMSA, American Le Mans Series, the Rolex Sports Car Championship and the IndyCar Classic Series. It's the only FIA Grade 1 circuit in the USA to host a Formula 1 Grand Prix since Indianapolis, but Miami will soon be added to the very long list of circuits. It is 9, in fact, including the Circuit of the Americas here at Sebring, Riverside, Watkins Glen, Phoenix, Dallas, Detroit, Caesars Palace, Long Beach, and Indianapolis. So it'll be a very interesting one here in qualifying. The Circuit of the Americas decided the 2019 championship. It won't be a championship decided here this evening in F5. The 2021 winner of Max Verstappen here around the Circuit of the Americas. It's a combination of Silverstone, Istanbul and Hockenheim is this $400 million circuit, which spreads around 375 Texan acres. Last week, Sanchez was the winner. He starts second. It's Pidu who beat him to the pole.
I want to say, obviously, I think the 2015 championship was also decided here in a race where you had the Mercedes being jumped by the Red Bulls, and then you ended up having Hamilton passing Rosberg, because Rosberg, he went off the road because of a gust of wind. So, well, Texas is all dry today. Sometimes it can chuck it down.
Texas, of course, famous for many things. We're going to hope that it's famous for this F5 race this evening. Lining up on the grid, it's Pidu who leads, but it's Dara Smith who's trying to get in the lead in the formation lap. Axel will line us up at the back. We'll run you through the tyre choices really quickly. It's softs for the top 9 and it is mediums for the bottom 10. Jerry actually will be starting on used mediums because he did make the top 10 on that tyre. Pidu starts us on pole position. Let us know who you want to win in the comments. Axel lined us up on the grid for lights out. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We got racing in the United States. Look at the launch from Sanchez. He's got to get right up the inside into turn 1 as it stands. He's got a fantastic launch. Pidu covers the inside. There's an Alpine in the background making a great start. Burriels tries around the outside. He's been tipped by Dara Smith, but no contact made. Too much. Zane on the outside finds himself with black box on his inside as we head through the S's for the first time. There's a couple of side-by-sides. People need to be really careful here. Pro gamers all over the place, off the track, left, right and centre as we head up towards turn number 8 and turn number 9. Pidu keeps the lead despite Sanchez's better reaction times and better traction off the line. But that's a great race start by Pidu to cover the inside. Burriel is right behind Sanchez. Yellow flag. It's Toxic Tomato off in the background. You can see him there. We see Sebastian Vettel's suspension break at that corner before. Speaking of a Ferrari, here comes Burriel. He's 1/10 of a second behind Sanchez. Is it going to be a move up the inside? He's certainly going to look for it. No DRS until lap number 3, of course. You can see the Ferris wheel on the right hand side. This grid is up and down at the moment as well as Burriel down the inside. Dara Smith down the inside as well. Almost makes contact with the Ferrari man.
No, nearly getting from Seems like you got a better launch off the line to try and get the lead. Oh, Darragh Smith runs
Oh,
up off
Darragh
the
Smith's
road
gone
there.
wide. He's gone wide. He's going to have to keep down the inside of Sanchez. He's got the job done. Black Box is already up the inside of Sanchez, but he's made contact and he's hit a bit of AstroTurf. Luckily, has not got it spun round. He hit a bit of AstroTurf there after hitting Sanchez. But look at the gap now between Darragh Smith and Barril. These front two have bolted away since Barril made the move down the back straight. Heading on to lap 2, it's the Argentine Pidu leading in America.
Yep, he's going to just maybe extend that lead a little bit more. Just make sure you don't start dragging Barril along with you. That is the main thing.
Oh, there's a bit of a battle here. K3BF5 trying to go up the inside of Jerry Bussell. Jerry's got a great race start on the medium compound of tyres. K3PA5 is down in 10th now. He qualified one position higher. He is down one position. You can see the positional change on the time tower on the left hand side. The biggest loser is Little Blocks. He's down 3 spots to 15th. He's made a bit of contact with someone there because he's 2.5 seconds behind. Your biggest winner on this one, it is Bugatti and it is Axel. Bugatti had a crash in qualifying. This gap up the front is 9/10 of a second. We'll get the tyres on screen now. It is softs and mediums. Of course, the only 2 tyres of choice off the line. Jerry is looking to try and make a move up the inside of K3PA5, and Barril has almost been pulled out of 1 second. Bjorn and Black Box up the inside of Bjorn. Bjorn's been pushed off the circuit as the Hassman. He's going to have to tuck in behind here. Black Box stays in 5th.
Right, so I'd say Sancho is probably the biggest loser I would at start, really, aside from Toxic Tomato. It's anyway, I would check. I'll see. Oh, look at Blocks also lost a couple of positions there. Zane's lost 1. Also Marcellus, he's not gotten the kind of start he needed. Bjorn's going to be gaining some decent points in this.
Bjorn's going to be gaining some decent points, but Pidu is already out of DRS. The Argentine is flying here around America. Darragh Smith 2 seconds off the lead, but anything can change in the pit stop phase here because it is a fairly simple soft medium. But the tyres won't be too pretty at the end, as that is Toxic Tomato retiring in the pit lane. One Red Bull is out, one Red Bull is attacking the Aston Martin in front of him for 8th position. We're on board with K3 now. We'll see what he can do, as Barril has had an absolute mighty first sector and he's gained right back into this DRS. Pidu struggled through the first sector seemingly because Pidu absolutely bolts away in the middle and in the final, but Barril, you can see, gets that back wing crucially open. Pidu has none of it in front of him. Darragh Smith could find himself under big trouble here from Sanchez. Sanchez up the inside of the Williamsman. Black Box is going to have a go up the inside as well. He's really fast around this circuit of the Americas is Black Box. He's really sent it there on Darragh Smith, but Darragh Smith, the Irishman, holds around the outside, doesn't like to give up. Very stubborn racer, and rightly so is the Williamsman. Tries to hold around the outside, but he's going to lose out here as he's got the switchback on Black Box. He's had the snap of oversteer. Has to catch the car. This could allow Bjorn into this fight as well, and it'll be very unlucky for young Darragh Smith to lose 3 positions in a lap here because it was just due to that very powerful DRS, but he'll have it for the next attempt. He could have a go at Black Box now. We head on to lap number 4. The lap's ticking down. Hold on a second. Barril's leading the Grand Prix. Pidu is at the back of him. What's going on for the McLaren man?
It's all going wrong.
What has happened here for McLaren? We didn't even notice it was that unexpected.
Back past K3PA5.
We were focusing on this battle for Darragh Smith, and Barril has somehow chucked one up the inside of Pidu. And Pidu looks like he's really struggling. Could it be a bit of wing damage for the McLaren? He looks to be okay, not losing that much time. But he needs to be very careful here, as he's going to have another go at our race leader now, Barril. As we look back from Barril, there goes Pidu. They've both got a very similar launch off turn number 10. Turn number 11, apologies. Heading down towards 12. Here comes Pidu. He's going to go for the inside now. Is the McLaren man. His Black Box has also got past Sanchez. Pidu retakes the race lead in whatever circumstance he lost it in. We're really unsure to what's happened there, but he's going to have to defend the inside as Barril is trying the outside manoeuvre for the Ferrari. Ferrari versus the McLaren is a battle we have seen in recent years. It's for 3rd normally, but this one is for the race lead. Black Box is up on the podium. He is motoring well today's black box. Definitely doing a good job. He's passed Dara Smith, he's passed Sanchez, and he defended from Bjorn. A good opening first laps for black box.
I'm just checking back at the stream here, just to see if I can pinpoint where this would have happened.
Really great camera shot we're seeing here on Bjorn's front wing. You could really see the elevation change up towards turn 1. Baril is hanging about behind P2 in the middle sector. This seems to be where P2 struggles the most, because he lost a lot of time here on lap number 3. And it seems like he's made another bit of a mistake now. He's hooked that up well, though. Baril running wide.
I think the move happened at the end of the back straight and then into the
Yeah, we seen Baril catch up the DRS, but I didn't think he had enough. It's obviously a lot more powerful than we first thought. As Sanchez is going to have a look on Black Box now. Black Box is going to lose the podium spot due to the DRS. He's going to tuck in behind and have another go on the next lap, possibly. Dara Smith's gone wide. There's a bit of contact here as Bjorn chucked one at the inside and got it all wrong. We'll have to see. Dara Smith picks up a 3-second time penalty for it.
He went in way too hot. He had to avoid the back of Black Box, and well, after all, 3 seconds, that's not a good couple of corners.
He's now under pressure from Zane. Zane's got into his DRS, and all these guys still running in one big train. The only gap the only man not in DRS is Sanchez, and he's not going to get in DRS because they'll just keep swapping and changing. Baril is he's running much better in the race than he was in qualifying. Peter was clear in qualifying, but Baril is running really well with the McLaren man now. Of course, this man in 5th is currently gaining a chuckload of points on our championship leader. The championship leader, Marcel, is currently 2nd last and down in 14th. He's really struggling today.
Yeah, it's not going well. Although, I would say, it's not as if he's completely disconnected from the pack. The pack is pretty much apart. Obviously, you've got Peter and Baril ahead, but everyone else is still pretty much with each other.
Here we go, we're going to have a lead change here, I think, again, as Baril's got an absolute launch and a half on Peter. He's going to go up the inside, possibly. No, the Ferrari-man sticks behind. He doesn't want to get the DRS, as we see what happens.
Black Box is fast.
Doesn't want to lose the DRS, apologies, as we see what happens when you do. There goes Black Box past Sanchez. And there is a bit of a gap now. Pro Gamer's off the back of Dara Smith. He's got past Zane, and that could be real unfortunate for the back of the pack if there is a disconnect.
No. Disconnect?
He's disconnected from the pack.
Oh, aye, in that terms. But I think he's still there.
Something's happened here. Azar has lost 2 spots. Is that Jerry Bussell? Oh no, Zane in the pit lane. Very early stop for the Alfa Romeo.
It might work though. An undercut, if I'm not mistaken, that was very powerful in F5 last season.
So I think it was. I can't really remember F5 last season.
Yeah, because we had Cameron Dowd to believe he won that race.
He did, yeah, that was right. It was in his dominant era. He ended up winning the championship, of course, did young Cameron. As that is Hazara, our 2nd retirement of the day and out of the race.
Well, that does mean Zane has a position. Well, we'll have a net position. But for Bjorn, this is not bad for his title challenge. Although, yeah, I believe it would be 34 points will be still available after today. So as long as he's within that, he's alright.
He definitely should be within. If Marcel somehow wins this race, that will be an absolute masterclass as Sanchez retakes 3rd spot. That's to be expected. Baril is just sitting behind Pedro.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking, could I be able to save up a bit of battery and go for an undercut? Because if you can push and gain a lot of time, if you can end up, I don't know, if you were to get the undercut of all undercuts, be ahead and then be ahead. Would have him outside your DRS.
Keep an eye on Zane here because he's tried something, and so is Dara Smith. He's trying something as well. He needs to try something because he's the penalty and has had a few offs, so he definitely needs to try something. He's into the pit lane for a set of the medium compound tyres. They'll make the end. They will make the end, definitely. They'll be a bit worse for wear, but they will make the end. There we go, medium compound tyres for the number 2 Williams. And we'll see a real thing here of how close Zane is to him, because Zane was behind the Irishman, and Zane has made a mistake on this lap because he's a mile behind Dara Smith.
Oh, Marcel is up to 9th.
Yep, he's got past Axel and Nickelblocks.
Let me see.
Oh, Nickelblocks is really struggling here.
He has to make a stop, mind you.
Nickelblocks is really struggling. I don't know what's happening, but he is all over the place. As here comes Black Box to retake 3rd, and Black Box and Sanjuez are having a game of swap here. As that's Jerry Bussell up the inside of Pro Gamer, and the mediums have started to work on that Mercedes of Jerry Bussell. Keep an eye on him in the second half of this race, because he'll be on the soft compound tyres. He will be flying on those soft compound of tyres. Sanjuez is a lot closer to Black Box now. These two have been swapping just through on the back straight. We could see Bjorn try to get involved here. You'd definitely love to.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how this pans out.
Oh, we've 2 pitters.
Yeah.
It is Bjorn and it is Black Box. Sanchois stays out. Baril and Pidu are in a different battle here. They stay out. Jerry Bussell is up to 4th now. So these guys, a lot of guys trying the undercut here. We'll see where Dara Smith is in representative of these, because this will be the real show for can they possibly get closer to our race leaders. Dara Smith, let's see if he's had a good outlap. You can see Bjorn still in the pit lane now. The Haas has exited his pit box. Here comes Dara Smith. This could be very, very good for the Irishman. There's the 2 on the outside. Can he just get the run around the outside? Bjorn's had a bit of a mess in pit exit. This could be a real chance for the Irishman to get a job done here. He's not close enough, and these 2 will stay ahead. But that goes to show how powerful the undercut is. He was a lot further behind Bjorn before he pitted. He's gained a couple of tenths at least, so we could really see the top 2 be under a bit of pressure from these if they do get a poor outlap, because Dara Smith had no DRS. Bjorn will have DRS on Black Box.
Sanchois might be in a little trouble
he
here.
He's really lost a lot of time. He's lost 4.2 seconds to Pidu and Baril. As he's Jerry Bussell behind him on the medium compounded tyres. I have to say, Jerry doing a great job here. He picked up a podium in Singapore, picked up 2nd position. He's only a reserve driver and he has only did 2 races. As there is a swap, it's Bjorn up the inside of Black Box, and for the first time Bjorn sees himself on for a potential podium, gets in front of the Mercedes-man. There's a swap for the lead. Baril is in. Pidu stays out. Sanchois is in as well.
So
this will be interesting. Jerry Bussell, for obvious reasons, stays out as well. But we'll see, where do Bjorn and Black Box come into play? Here's Sanchois exiting the pit lane. You'll see him pop out of the left-hand side.
Ahead.
He's ahead.
Oh, well ahead.
No, he's not. He's behind. Sanchois is well behind these guys. He's lost out big time here. That was Baril who got out ahead. We got confused with the Ferrari and the Alpine there. Really good stuff by these 3. They've all jumped. Sanchois, who was on the podium.
I mean, yeah.
And Baril has held his gap as well, so that's really good for Baril as well. K3, picking up a 3-second time penalty, apologies. Now, where does Pidu come into this? Because he is in the battle with Baril for the race lead. Jerry Bussell is only 4.5 seconds off the race lead and still has to go onto the quicker tyre, so he's going to come into play in this one as well. So will Bugatti. We're talking about Jerry Bussell. Bugatti's right behind him. And Marcel as well is only 6 or 7-ish seconds off the race lead. And same with Axel. They're all doing a good job, these medium runners. Almost the only man not on the mediums is Pidu. As he's in. Pidu's in. Let's see about this one. The medium runners will still be the top 6 in this round, the top 5 in this race now. But Baril is the race leader on track. We still have the top 5, obviously, still have to make pit stops. There's Pidu. We will see Baril exiting the final corner. You'll see Pidu pop out of that left-hand side of the pit lane, and it is going to be Baril ahead. But can Bjorn possibly attack the McLaren? No, Peter's just had too good of an outlap there, too good of an in-lap. But Bjorn is a lot closer. It's only 1.3 seconds now. If Peter doesn't get these tyres lit up fairly quickly, they will see the 2 trains connected, and we will have a 5-car battle for the race lead. Bjorn, the hopes of Black Box and Darragh Smith's race win here relies on this sector from Bjorn. Can he possibly get in the DRS? He has to gain 2 seconds. It looks like Peters did a good job on getting the tyres up to temperature, and yet there goes the gap extended. It's not enough for Bjorn.
Yeah. Not close.
Although Peters not in the DRS of Baril either. It's 1.3 seconds.
Now
Baril did a great job.
In trouble. Bjorn's going to be in trouble there.
Here goes Black Box up the inside. Is Darragh Smith going to have a go as well? No, he's a bit too far back, unfortunately. But that's Black Box up the inside. And now if Black Box can get on the back of Pidu's DRS, he will have a go on that back straight as well, and possibly find himself in provisional 2nd position. Bugatti and Jerry Bissell are running really good up the front here. Really, really good. We haven't got a safety car yet this race either, so that could come into play as well. Never rule that out. So some guy will always make a mistake, and Black Box is not catching any more than Bjorn was. Pidu still has his qualifying pace in him. It's not totally died.
And I mean 1.2 now. 1.1. I mean, Peter is starting to get back in. He's having to burn his ERS, but if he's back in DRS,
he's back in now, but he still has this sector to go, and this is where he's been struggling, and that's the 2nd Red Bull retiring from the race. It won't be a safety car, it's in the pit lane, so that's good that we won't get under yellows. Yeah, Peter's struggling in sector 1 again. He's not having a good time of things in this first sector as the McLaren, but he's really pushed it through 9 and 10, and he's almost broken back in. Can he break back in? No, there's the activation line. He's not back in, but he is pushing. And Baril actually has DRS himself off Little Blocks. Little Blocks is going to just allow the Ferrariman through here, I think. Yep, he does, and Axel is ahead of Marcel again. So Marcel's struggling even more. Baril chucks in front of Little Blocks. Pidu now needs to push and get the DRS off Little Blocks. Bjorn and Black Box side by side. That's not as easy as it has been. Bjorn had to make it move and make it stick there as K3's car is out of the race. We're down to 13. The Zane must have made a mistake somewhere when pushing, because he's still at the back and still last in this Grand Prix now. As Pidu is 4 tenths behind Little Blocks. That puts him almost 6 tenths behind Baril.
Right, and every minute, second, Pidu is stuck behind the good blocks. It's just costing him more and more time.
It's the fastest lap for Baril as well. Here comes Pidu. What's the gap? 1.6. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
DRS has managed to bring it down to 1.5, I suppose.
Sanchez is on Darragh Smith here. Darragh Smith struggling. These two are side by side. Got to be side by side in the S's. Who's the braver man into the first part of the S's? It's Sanchez. I think he just had the straight line speed there as well, possibly. But Sanchez has invited himself back into this train. Of course, he has fresher tyres than the lot. He has almost 2 lap fresher tyres than Darragh Smith himself. So Sanchez is looking a lot better now that he's back in this train. And good thing for Little Blocks' race, he has managed to stay in the DRS of Pidu.
Yeah, that would be helpful. It will delay the inevitable of others catching up to him just a little bit more.
Now, another thing here is, if Baril can catch Bugatti, will Bugatti know to possibly slow Baril down to allow Pidu to catch back up? Bugatti is, I think, too far in front.
But that would first require Baril getting past Marcel and Axel.
Yeah. I think if Bugatti was willing to sacrifice his race, to help Pidu here. It would be a bad call because Bugatti is running well as well. He still has to go for the soft tyres. And we are halfway through this Grand Prix now, almost. In the middle sector, we'll be halfway through. It's been an exciting one. It's been interesting. We still have a lot of excitement to come because Jerry Bassell and Bugatti still have to go for the soft compound tyres here. And Marcel as well has kept with Axel now since Axel got past. So he's still in this one as Marcel, but as it stands... Well, as it stands now, Marcel is outscoring Bjorn, but of course he still has to make his legal pit stop. So we will see what happens. Black Box didn't manage to get past Bjorn on that lap. He'll have a go at him on this one, I imagine.
Yeah. See, would you say at this point, if you got a safety car, would you just strap on softs and go to the end?
Yeah, you probably could. Because you'd have 3 safety car laps as well. Here comes Black Box. He's going to get the move done on Bjorn now. As he's going to go up the inside. It's, look at the straight line speed advantage the Mercedes-man has on the Haas. And that is job done for Black Box. These two just swapping and changing are now up on the back of Little Block. So it might be a little more difficult for Bjorn to get the move done the next time. As Pidu has almost broke back into the DRS of Baril. He's did a very good job here as Pidu. Did a very good job.
So you can probably lean more on these tyres, although... is he nearly overdriving that car? Because... a lot of inputs, like he's turned in, turns outside and turns back in.
I think Pidu is... He could be overdriving it here, but I think he has to. Just try to get back in this DRS. Although Baril, without the DRS, is not pushing. And that could be crucial now. Black Box past Little Blocks. Bjorn is going to be stuck behind Little Blocks. Whoa, that was a mess of a sentence. Bjorn's going to be stuck behind Little Blocks for this next sector. It's crucial he gets past here and can keep with Black Box, the Mercedes-man, because Black Box has good pace here today and could pull away if given an opportunity. As there goes Marcel past Axel. I made a mistake there. That's the reason for that move. Our championship leader is up to 3rd, but still has to make his legal pit stop. The only thing about Bjorn here is he will get the DRS and Black Box will not. Little Blocks has been good today and just letting these guys through, but will he make it difficult for the Haas? We'll have to wait and see. As there go, he's not going to have a chance to make it difficult for the Haas because Bjorn is flying past. And the thing here is, he'll still be with Black Box. He could almost send it now. As here, something's happened with Baril. He's tried to go for the both of them, has the Ferrari man. He's past our championship leader Marcel, and he's almost past Axel. We'll stick on board with Marcel here because Baril. It's all over the place now. Peter was right on the back of Baril. Baril was trying to get past both of them. He's got past Marcel, to be fair, but he's not gone past the other one. Sanchez has also got past Little Blocks in the background. Pidu now is right with Baril. If he can just navigate past our championship leader Marcel, he could be in with a good shout to get back in that DRS of the Ferrari. Baril is going to get the run on Axel now. That puts 2 cars in between. Pidu needs to send one here if he wants to get back with Baril. He's not going to get past Axel and will be behind him for the middle sector. 12 laps to go. Baril is gone for it all. Pidu the inside. That's very, very clumsy from our McLaren man, but that was very desperate. Very, very desperate for 12 laps to go. And could that have cost him a chance at winning this race, Brendan?
It might well have. It's just not... right into the side of him, you'd wonder, could there possibly be a little bit of damage there now? Maybe not visible. He might...
He's almost not got DRS on Axel because of that. That would have been a travesty if he didn't. Axel is going to get it as well, though, so this is going to be a lot more difficult for Pidu. Like, he's made it worse for himself here. But the only thing is, the man in front of Baril is Bugatti. Will Bugatti sacrifice his race to slow down Baril? Baril's burned a lot of his ERS, so has Pidu. They're both pushing to the absolute maximum to win this United States Grand Prix. There's our championship leader Marcel, currently outscoring Bjorn, but still has to make a pit stop. And we should be seeing this pit stop soon by the front runners. Jerry Bassel's in with a great chance here. If he can light up the softs, he's in with a great shout. And so is Bugatti. Bugatti right behind him. Them two need to do what they're doing now and just run in unison. Just run in unison and catch back up and then have a go. Peter's in the pit lane. He has got damage. Peter's in the pit lane.
I felt that hit look a bit bit too hard to have not gotten damage, so...
Desperation has been costly. Desperation has possibly killed. And desperation has costed. Pidu is last from pole. Marcel is also pit, and so has Lickle Blocks. So a bit more normal running.
Blocks ahead?
Without the pit runners.
Honestly, Lickle Blocks didn't have to change the wings, so... Honestly, and that's why pole isn't everything.
This has now put a spanner in the works in this race because Baril is absolutely clear now of the middle runners. It will only be the soft runners who I'd say could tackle Baril's race win here, and even then they're still miles behind. As that is a first bit of a battle for Jerry Bissell and Bugatti. They've been running in unison all race as the McLaren and the Mercedes. One McLaren has gone and bottled his chances, really. Can the other keep his bottle and possibly challenge for the high-end points? Bjorn's past Black Box. Great chance for Bjorn here to outscore Marcel by a good few points. Marcel had a poor evening here in the United States. But still, we've seen in Singapore anything can happen. Bugatti's picked up a 3-second time penalty, and he's in. He's in the pit lane.
Yeah,
he's gone for an undercut. It'll be 10 laps to the end for the McLaren man, and Baril invites himself back up into second, which will become first in due course. Let's see where Bugatti comes out in relation to Marcel. Oh, he's got to come out in front here. As Marcel has not even reached the final corner. That goes to show what the gap Bugatti had. As here comes Sanchez, now attacking Black Box, and that's Pidu picking up a penalty for his troubles. So he's made life even worse for himself. Lickle Block has got another 3 seconds, so somehow picking up 3 warnings on the 1 lap. It's probably a record for this tier. But yeah, the race has gone downhill for Pidu and Lickle Blocks. Very, very much. As Sanchez, though, he had a poor pit stop. He's invited himself back into proceedings here. He's right behind Black Box ahead of Darragh Smith.
Oh, so with a penalty, whatever result he will have on track will probably lose position or 2. So, I think if Bjorn v Black Box here would be important. Bjorn's getting a very nice result for his championship.
Black Box at the back of Bjorn! Bjorn's got set round! The Hassman, it's all gone to tatters! Black Box has hit the back of Bjorn and sent him spinning. A week after getting his win taken off him with a report, he sent him spinning, and Bjorn will be furious, he'll be angry, and he will not be very clean if he can catch back up to this Mercedes-man. But look who's invited himself up. It's Sanchez now, up to what will be second place, because Jerry Bissell is into the pit lane. Axel stays out, but Axel still has to make his pit stop. But that is a bad mistake for Black Box, and that will be certainly reported. Could have ring damage as well. It doesn't look like he does. Jerry is in the pit lane, yeah, as we said. But that's not good, as here comes Bugatti past Pro Gamer already. Really good stuff for Bugatti. He is now right behind Bjorn as Lickle Blocks us at the fastest lap of the race, but Baril is now even in a more comfortable spot, leading by 4.5 seconds, and that could really decide this championship for Bjorn, because he was going to score possibly a podium. He still could if he gets his head down. Yeah,
that is the thing. This Black Box, is he actually going to be suffering with damage here or not?
Oh, it's Lickle Blocks. He's round. He's not hit the wall. He's avoided the wall with a sector after he set the fastest lap. He has...
Oh, Jerry down the inside here.
Here comes Jerry past Pro Gamer. Jerry's not hanging around. And he'll pick up DRS for his troubles there as well, because it was after the activation point. So Jerry and Bugatti both doing well, as Lickle Blocks has seems like a rage quit there. But Bugatti actually jumped Jerry in the pit lane.
Huh. Is now really Jerry could be able to say his target here now is Bjorn.
His target is Bjorn, and Bjorn's not catching up to Black Box either. Bjorn needs to try and get within that 3 seconds of Sanchez and Darragh Smith. But the thing here is Darragh Smith has lost DRS to Sanchez, so Sanchez is now in a comfortable second. Last week's race winner could get 2 podiums in a row for what I believe is the first time this season. No. Yes, it is. I can't read. He is in. It would be 2 podiums in a row for the first time this season for Sanchez, as Jerry has got past Bugatti. Jerry is absolutely flying. He's right behind Bjorn now. Jerry Bissell, don't count him out of this one. He could end up at the podium from 10th on the grid. That would be very, very good, but he's burned a lot of ERS, mind you. Needs to manage that a bit more. He's right behind Bjorn and will shoot past on the run down to 12. Run a bit wide though, doesn't want to pick up a penalty, that would cost them. But gap up the front is 6.9 seconds for Baril.
I would say now to Bjorn, try use Jerry in this. If you can pull along with him, you may get back into this.
Let's see what he can do. It's got to be Bugatti past Bjorn as well. It's got to be Bugatti past the both of them, possibly. It's a defensive move for Jerry. It's almost a double move in the brakes, but it's just about on the limit. He's gone wide, has Jerry. And we've seen an incident with a McLaren and a Mercedes in the PCF1 tier here, as Jerry's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Bjorn, stick with these guys. You have a chance still of a podium because there's a lot of penalties in front of him. He needs to stick in the DRS of Bugatti, but he's going to struggle. He's really going to struggle because these softs are just so much more quicker than the mediums at this stage in the race.
Obviously they will wear out a little bit, but at this moment, well, it looks like Jerry is just going to pull away.
Bjorn's got DRS on this lap, so he'll get a little bit of a help.
I suppose if Bugatti can somewhat keep up with Jerry, and then Bjorn will be able to somewhat keep up with Bugatti, although that seems like it's not going to happen now.
And bad news for Bjorn is that Marcel is now in the points. Oh, that's good for Bjorn. Darren Smith's picked up another 3, which gives Bjorn up to 6th on a penalty count.
And with Jerry and Bugatti's penalties, that's probably...
With Jerry and Bugatti's penalties, he's currently 4th. But just remember, Black Box could get a post-race penalty here as well.
Yeah.
For that incident. It's highly likely.
And Sanchez could still guess. Or could... Well, he still has a 3 seconds there. So... If...
We'll go gap to your leader for a second, and Bjorn is not in Sanchez's 3 seconds. We could tell you that from a visual. He's about 3 seconds out of it. So we need Sanchez to get another. There is your penalties. Bugatti is 6 seconds actually, so Bjorn is looking comfortable on that front. In terms of Bugatti, but like we've a train here now. Bugatti and Jerry Bissell are going to probably fly through it. Look how much Jerry gains in the braking zone, and Darren Smith. This Mercedes is flying around the Circuit of the Americas. We've seen a lot of Mercedes wins here over the years, as here comes Darren Smith. He's got to get past Black Box, possibly. No, doesn't send it. Jerry Bissell, though, he's got to send it on the inside of the young Irishman in the Williams, and he's almost got his teammate done as well. It's now a Mercedes 3-4, but Jerry Bissell is not going to be thinking about that. He's going to possibly fly past Black Box here, down the back straight, and Bugatti is also going to get past Darren Smith and keep with him. Look how much he's gaining through the S's. Look at this. The Mercedes is on rails on the fresh tyres. You could just see the difference between these two, because Black Box is good pace, but that's almost a little bit of a half spin for Jerry. He's caught it well, but he's gonna get the job done here. Bugatti has gone up the inside of Darren Smith, so he's gonna try attack Jerry Bissell as well, but he's made a mistake. This could invite the Williams back up. Black Box is just gonna let his teammate through here. That's a good call. Stick behind him, tuck in, and possibly get back up onto the podium at a later stage. Bugatti is going to go past Black Box as well. Down the inside goes the McLaren man. He's got it done. Really good movement there from Bugatti. That was late on the brakes. And look at Bjorn just slowly coming into the picture in the background.
Yeah. Interesting now. Oh, Black Box has a half.
Oh, yeah, he's made a mistake there, Black Box. He's made a mistake and he's almost fallen out of DRS. He has fallen out of DRS, and you're not going to get back in with the pace of the two in front. That's a big mistake for Black Box. That is a costly mistake. And it's not the first mistake he's made today. He hit Bjorn round, of course. Bjorn reset the track. I don't know if that's a penalty or not. I don't think anyone would report him. I don't think anyone's seen. But yeah, that's a big mistake from Black Box, and he's out of the DRS. Costly. And just Jerry Bissell could still get second here. He's caught up so much to Sanchez. The pace of this Mercedes and the pace of this McLaren is unbelievable.
And so, Jerry, he's had some very good results since he's come in.
Yeah, got a podium last week, finished second there. It was behind Sanchez. He could possibly finish second ahead of Sanchez today.
I'd say, wouldn't be bad for the next season, maybe. Just put your name out there.
Yep, might even get himself in a higher tier, maybe, with these sort of performances. But here we go, he's in the DRS to Sanchez now, and he's running very, very well. As Black Box is 2.7 seconds behind these guys. Bjorn is 1.7 behind Dara Smith as Pidu. Pidu's back. He's past Pro Gamer, and could he invite himself back up into this fight after what has been a terrible race compared to qualifying? Look at Jerry Bassell, he's got to go around the outside of Sanchez, not even going to wait for the main straight, round the outside. What an overtake for Jerry Bassell. Sanchez holding up the inside, side by side to the next corner. Jerry Bassell gets the job done, and this Mercedes is putting on a show here in the Circuit of the Americas. 4 laps to go. Could he set his sights on a victory possibly? Bugatti's going to go up the inside of Sanchez here. It's not even going to be a contest, this one. It makes Jay Bassell's overtake look even better as Bugatti sticks with his partner in crime for this evening.
Leave here. Marcel is it? Maybe getting to.
Oh yeah, he's got past Pro Gamer down into turn 1. Can a Pro Gamer get a squish back? He's on a lot older tyres than Marcel himself. No, Marcel will keep this one, I think, until the main straight. Maybe Axel picks up a 3-second time penalty. Axel runs in 11th. We've kind of forgotten about him a bit this race, as Jerry is catching so much on Baril. Could he possibly win this race, Brendan? Or is that just too much to ask?
He will close up, but with the penalty, I highly doubt it. You'd have to be catching at a ridiculous rate to not only pass, but then gap Baril to the extent that your penalty would not matter.
Yeah, Baril is still looking comfortable here. I think he should be okay. That's Axel past Pro Gamer now. Pro Gamer struggling a lot. As that's Axel past Marcel. There's a bit of a battle happening here. Axel ran the outside of Marcel. These guys both on the softs. Axel's a bit newer. Could he send one up the inside into the double left? No, he's going to take a wide approach here and just stick behind them, which is a clever choice here, as it's now 5 seconds to gap up the front between Jerry Bassell. Oh, that's another penalty for Dara Smith. Dara Smith is Bjorn right behind him, and could we see Bjorn pass Black Box? The only way he'd get past Black Box is on track, but Black Box could get a penalty after the race here. We'll have to see. Pro Gamer's picked up another penalty, but he's out of the points as it is. Bjorn has got past Dara Smith now into turn 1. He pushes the Williamsman wide. The Haasman's going to go around the outside for Haas's home Grand Prix. He's going to stick it up the inside of the DS's. Dara Smith's trying to hold around the outside. He's hold around the outside. He's almost able to do that. And I respect the effort from the Irishman, because that was fantastic to try hold around the outside. Really good stuff there. 3 laps to go. And Bjorn now, he's got to try catch Black Box and stick in a penalty count of Sanchez, but it's going to be difficult because Sanchez only has 3 seconds and Black Box is 5 behind. Gap up the front now is 4.5. It's not going to be enough for Jerry Bassell to win this one, but he will possibly take a podium here. Or take second even. Because he'll beat Bugatti. Bugatti's 6 seconds. That's Dara Smith back up the inside of Bjorn. That's not what Bjorn needs.
Oh, not great. Although he would be close enough to that. Well,
because look, he's behind Bjorn now. It's Pidu.
Yeah, and Peter won't be one to mess around here. He'll want to be recovering from that mistake. And
with possibly the potential absence of Stefano for the final 2 rounds, Bjorn, for a championship fight, needs to gain more points than he currently is. It's not that good of a scoring so far.
Let me see.
For Bjorn.
At the moment, he'd be gaining about, let's say, yeah, it would probably be either 5 or 6 points, depending on whether Black Box gets penalised for that, and which he might well be.
This is going to be A messy final 2 laps. But just look how much Jerry's gained on Barreal. Jerry might not win this one on the timing, but he could well win this one on track still with this pace.
And I'm going to check his warnings, because
he could get it removed.
Well, yeah, warning, and then penalty plus 2 warnings. But I would check in case.
Here we go. This is going to be a right kerfuffle here. Bjorn is going to try to get past Aerosmith, who's just pulling away because of the DRS. But Peter's right on the back of the Haas as well. Could Peter go for a double possibly here? He's got to go down the inside of 1 for sure. He's gone for the both. Down the inside goes Peter. What a move. What an overtake. That is sensational racing from Peter. That is stuff worthy of a museum. And Aerosmith has lost out another spot to Bjorn. Stick that one in the Louvre. What an overtake by Pidu down the inside of Bjorn. That is a cracking move by Pidu.
Oh, now look who's near Bjorn. It's Marcel.
Yeah.
On the soft tyre.
Marcel is right behind here. And he's no penalty as well. So he will gain past Dara Smith and Axel. Marcel could, not mathematically, but hypothetically, wrap up his championship here. Peter's got to send this round the outside, possibly a black box. Outside's got to become inside. Oh, he's hit the back of the Mercedes-man. And Axel has got past Dara Smith. Dara Smith is really struggling here, and he'll actually be lucky to finish in the points at this rate with Dara Smith, which is unfortunate, because he's drove really well. Bjorn could possibly slingshot himself past black box here, though. We only have 2 laps left, so it's going to be difficult for a lot more moves, and it's certainly going to be difficult for Pidu to pull away 3 seconds on Bjorn, so Bjorn could gain that back via the time. It's not going to be a race win for Jerry Bissell, that's for sure. He's 2.8 seconds behind. Just look at this train of cars heading onto the back straight for the penultimate time. Pidu's definitely going to get 5th on track in this race, that is for sure. It's just the timing that matters. Axel is a bit far back on Bjorn to go for a move, especially with the exit and the run Bjorn has. Peter's got to go down the inside of black box, but he tucks in behind for a long time into the braking, can brake so much later on those soft compound tyres, and black box is left standing 7.9 seconds behind. Pidu will be pushing to try possibly get in a penalty count, but he does it 3 himself. As there goes Bjorn past black box. This is not going to be friendly on any sort of counts, as you can see there. There's not much space left for Bjorn, as because black box possibly ended up ruining Bjorn's championship on 2 occasions in 2 weeks. Axel could not get past black box there. He'll have a go on the final lap, and Bjorn is pushing to try keep within 3 seconds of Pidu, because that'll give him 5th at least. Marcel will jump up to 8th position here as well, so it'll still be good points in a very, very poor race for Marcel. He's been not on his form today, that's for sure.
I think that is one of the things, if you are to be a champion, you need to be able to do, and that's have a good result on a bad day.
That's what he's doing. Okay, he's being helped by the fact Bjorn is 6th. But we are in the final lap here, and is Bugatti going to send one up the inside of Jerry Bissell? He's a bit too far back. Jerry is still flying, but Barreal's dominated since Pidu's mistakes. He's never looked back. Keep an eye here, because Black Box could send it up the inside of Bjorn, and this would be a crucial move for the championship. Black Box might receive a penalty after, but if Bjorn beats him on track, he'd be better off not reporting Black Box. But here comes Black Box. He's got a fly pass. He's got a dummy on into the inside. The Mansell dummy, as it's called. He's gone down the inside. Bjorn gets the switchback and tries to hang one round the outside. It's going to be very difficult, but he's got to get the run into the double left-hander. He's going to have to chuck it up the inside. Black Box has to be careful here for Axel as well. Bjorn nails his braking. Black Box on the switchback. He's got to try hang one round the outside if he wants to get the job done. I don't think it's going to be enough. Barreal has won the United States Grand Prix, but we cannot take our eyes off this battle. This could be crucial for the championship. This could possibly pull Bjorn, as Black Box has picked up a 3 seconds. That's going to invite Marcel up, as well as Axel's got it as 2. Bjorn gets 5th. Pidu 6th. Marcel gets 7th, which is a massive result in retrospect. And Zane has put himself up to 11th at the end there.
That is, well, it's a pretty dramatic ending. And you'd ask, maybe you wonder where was this a little earlier on with Bjorn and Black Box.
That's a massive result for Marcel. Bjorn
It is massive.
should have had more today. But the soft runners at the end were on a different level. But Barreal, let's talk about Barreal for a second. What a win! Where's this man been since Hungary? He vanished off the face of the earth. He's back. He's back for Ferrari, and Ferrari have taken another win this season. He won in Hungary, did Barreal, and Barreal has invited himself into the battle for top 3 in the championship now. That's a smashing result for QRT Barreal. He wins ahead of Jerry Bissell for Mercedes, who, fantastic job. Possibly my driver of the day, Jerry. Bugatti in third, also another nominee for driver of the day, apart from the penalties. Sanchez in fourth, Bjorn fifth. He won't be happy with it. He won't be happy at all. Pidu in 6th ahead of Marcel in 7th. Axel in 8th. Black Box 9th. Zane actually stuck himself into the points in the end in 10th. Pro Gamer 11th. Dara Smith in 12th, and that's disappointing. That's really disappointing. Lickle Blocks in 13th with the fastest lap, actually. No one beat it that fastest lap. Despite the pace of Jerry, he still couldn't beat that fastest lap. Your non-finishers are K3, Hazara and Toxic Tomato. But my oh my, we have a championship battle heating up here, and hopefully we can get Stefano involved in it as well. I'm unsure to his status on whether he is going to be racing, but hopefully we can get Stefano involved as well. Brendan, final thoughts on that one?
I'd say, well, never knew softs were that powerful.
Neither did I. They were crazy today.
I'd say it did make for some brilliant racing, and the narratives it brought. You'd have to say for Bjorn, thinking, is that an opportunity missed there? Because now he's realistic. He's got to be right on his game for the last 2 races this season. He's got to be well ahead of Marcel next week, or in 2 weeks' time, and then in the final race he'll also have to make him have a masterclass.
Well, we have a championship battle heating up here. It is not one you want to miss. We've no race next week, but you can join us in 2 weeks' time for what will be an absolute classic of a PSGL race for sure. We've had a great season here, and you definitely don't want to miss the Italian Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. Stay well. See you in 2 weeks.